Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Night Lives in the Launching Life with Autism Facebook group. I'm so glad you're here. This group is for parents who are new to autism who are struggling with the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. If that sounds like you and you want to get calm, understand, and connect with your child, then you are in the right place. And I'm your host, Erin Porter. I went through this chaos during 28 years in education, and now I'm on a mission to help parents get through it too. What I learned and implemented in those 28 years in the classroom and in special education has helped hundreds of teachers and parents calm the chaos that autism has brought to their lives. Before we start, if you've popped on, please say hi. Facebook tells me the number of people who are here, but it doesn't tell me who is here. So you need to say hello so that I can see that you're here. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who wished me happy birthday. That was yesterday, and I really appreciated all the love from all of you in this group. Thank you very much. Now, today we are talking about family. Are you all on the same page? I've been talking with members of our group this week, and there was an alarming amount of couples and families who all disagree about autism and what's wrong with the child in their lives. First of all, I need to clear something up. There's nothing wrong with your child. This seems to be a hard one for parents to agree on, and was the number one thing that was causing stress. Here's the stress. I've talked with hundreds of people in our group. If you want to talk, I'll talk with you. I've made it my mission to support parents wherever I can. So we can talk, but I can't help you like with my coaching program. I can't help you unless you're on the same page as your spouse or your partner or whoever is the second person in your life that is supporting you. My program involves two adults, usually spouses, but they have to be on the same page. So when parents reach out and I tell them that I can't help them because their spouse doesn't agree with them, then there's stress. Both parents have to come to the table with the same goal. So I want to share with you some of the types of responses or types of people that I saw, and maybe you can see yourself or someone that you love in these examples. So what I had to say to parents about not being able to help them unless they were on the same page prompted some responses of disappointment, but also of justifying things. So one person said, well, she's spoiling him. So one parent was blaming another parent for the child's difficult behavior. Well, that's not helpful. Blaming is never helpful, and it never seems to come with a solution. So there's the blamer. Another conversation led to a comment about, well, we can't do anything financially right now. And in the same breath said that OT, ABA, speech didn't work. The child's not toileted and they're still in diapers, paying for diapers. These are people who create barriers, even though they're spending money out of pocket on things that aren't working. They put up barriers about, well, about money, but about other things to justify not agreeing with each other or not agreeing on a way to move forward. They think of these expenses as costs, and I get it. I get that a lot of parents fear that they'll be running out of money because of autism. But what if you found the proper solution and looked at spending money as an investment in your child rather than the cost of doing business with autism. That would be a totally different conversation. But that's the person who puts up barriers. Then there's another response that I got this week. We're going to take it one day at a time. But that's not a strategy. That's refusing to take responsibility. So you're just going to go from day to day to day? How are you going to teach your child anything or make a plan if you're just going to take it day by day? And then there's the parent who won't talk about it. They have accepted that this is just what it is, and there can't be anything to do about it. That's the victim mentality. These people are going around and around and around in a circle, in a loop, telling themselves that, well, it is what it is. This is autism, and this is just how life has to be. I think that was 4 different types of responses or different types of people that I encountered who are disagreeing with their partners. Now, despite the responses that blamed another, put up barriers, refused to take responsibility, or created victims who wouldn't act, I've been able to get parents and families, because let's face it, sometimes the mother-in-law is involved in this too, right? But seriously, I've been able to get families to a place where they could all agree that something's not working. All of the children that I'm talking about with parents have difficult, repeated, unwanted problem behaviors. And those have to do with sleeping, eating, playing, toileting, self-help, independence. All of the parents wanted change. That's your common ground. You're closer than you think. So even if one of the parents is doing one of those 4 things, you still both want things to change. That's where you start from. You may disagree on the process or on what's going on, but you can agree that you want things to change. I know that every parent and grandparent wants the best for their child and grandchild. So dig deep and really look at things. Let's get you to a place where you can all agree. If you're parenting with someone who disagrees about you with autism or your methods, then you both need to watch this. If you have parents or neighbors or family who disagrees with the way that you're doing things, then they need to watch this too. Send a link to people. It's totally shareable. I have never, in all of my years of working with children and families, which is just about 30 years, I have never heard someone who disagrees about autism with their spouse come up with a solution. Never has any spouse, grandparent, aunt, uncle, neighbor, friend, teacher say, you're doing it wrong. Here's how you should do it. This will work. So let's back things up. Why is this so hard? Can we agree about that? Can you agree about that, like with your person, that this is hard? Would it be fair to say that you would both like things to be easier, smoother, and less chaotic? Because if that's true, then you actually have common ground. I talked to one mom this week who said bedtime is a nightmare. She lets her son sleep with her. Dad thinks that's spoiling him. So if mom doesn't let him sleep with her, then dad takes over and he's has a more stern approach and lets the child cry it out. When I asked how that was working, mom said it wasn't. So instead of fighting about the methods that don't work, could you agree that neither work? So you need a new plan. Your common goal here is that you all want to sleep. but the way that everyone's doing it isn't working. That's your common goal. It seems so basic when you take the emotion out of it. So what do you want for your child? What does the person in your life who disagrees with you about autism want for your child? Like the couple that disagree about the process of bedtime. They both actually agree that they want their child to sleep so they can sleep. So what do you both want for your child? Do you want them to eat or sleep or play or solve their own problems without big emotions or use the toilet or be independent? What do you want? That's your common ground. So let's get you on the same page, because the fighting with your partner or the disagreeing with your partner or not talking about it with your spouse or parents, it's not going to help. I want you to make a list. I want you to make a list of everything you've tried, and you both have to contribute to this. Make a list of everything you've tried. What worked, what didn't work. If you both agree that things have to change, then you need to look at what you've done and then look in a different direction and decide together what is your next right step. So for now, your next right step is to get on the same page. Everything goes on this list. All the therapies, all the strategies, everything that worked or didn't work. Like visuals, songs, schedules, gentle parenting, ignoring, not ignoring, crying it out, shouting. Put it all on there. I'm not judging any of it. It's your list. But you have to see it to know where to go next. And your spouse or partner who's disagreeing with you might need to see your giant list for this to hit home. And if you've tried therapies and they didn't work, you've got tons of strategies and they didn't work, and you've tried your way and you've tried your spouse's way and neither works, and you can just stop right there and agree that you want the same thing, but you can't find a way to get there. Is that fair to say? They are actually agreeing. So let's assume you agree that things aren't working and things have to change. How? Well, the first step is agreeing that you need to move forward with something. And the second step is to put up your hand and ask for help. I worked with a family who recently just did this. They put up their hand because they realized that when the pain of doing everything with the same result outweighs the fear of trying something new, then you have a new direction. There's your common ground. The pain of repeating the same thing with no results is costing you money, time, energy, and sometimes your relationships. I've had parents tell me that working with me saved their marriage. So, if you put up your hand and ask for help, I'm going to point you in a different direction, away from the list. I'm going to show you that when adults change their behavior, the child's behavior changes. I've had parents say to me that it's like magic. It's a process of awareness that starts with the parents rather than looking at the outcomes of the child. It's not about teaching your child to wash their hands so they'll do it independently, or telling them to go to sleep over and over and over. It's actually about the adults. It's about moving your child toward independence by first having the adults take a really hard look at what they're doing and how they can change. So your first step here is for the adults. Get on the same page. What do you all want for your child? Independence, sleep, eating, a routine. The list goes on and on. But the how starts with the adults. Talk to your family, make your lists. What do you want and what have you tried? And if you get to a place where you're both ready to look in a different direction, then reach out. I can only help you if you're both on the same page. And if you'd like to see a Q&A with that parent who I mentioned, who was just months ago in the same place that you are, the one who put up her hand and asked for help, type Q&A in the comments and I'll send it over to you. You'll see that when you look in a different direction, magic happens. Let me know if you want to see that video. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.